Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, the one and only master propaganda hero of sight, defender of the fatherland of it all, when we won on Twin Beaches. In the south, it is Oziligath fighting for the British Empire, the Commonwealth here with the 53rd Infantry Division, slimming across the beaches towards German lines here held by Ruby. Fighting for the Deutsches Afrika Corps here with the 15th Panzergrenadier Division. We got a double Panzer Pioneer bike opening. That's definitely unusual. Versus a double Sapper start with Australian defense. Less unusual here out of Oziligath. We did go straight for the section command post and not straight to fast Australians as a post. That does constitute a bit of, besides the usual sections here. But anyways, as always, big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters for the continued generous and wonderful support of the Propagandacast. A big thanks to those who keep commenting and liking my videos. Helps out immensely with the YouTube algorithms. So, you might be wondering, why would Oziligath here, go for section instead of straight to the Australians? I mean, obviously one could be, because he's a hipster and he is French, so that is possible. But it's also just as likely because, he wants something a bit more flexible than, the Australian troops, of course. While they definitely perform very well versus infantry versus light vehicles, the Australians do tend to struggle quite a bit. Perhaps an allusion to maybe a weakness of actual Australians. Maybe they really also have a hard time with vehicles. But that's another story. Either way, though, they lack snares and they don't have anti-tank rifles, say in a pinch. Though most players nowadays typically tend not to bother too much with anti-tank rifles. Whereas the DAK, you definitely want some sort of option there. And that could very well be why Oziligath is not going to commit to that. We got a 250 after get for Ruby. Dingo there for Oziligath. Quickly pushing back the bike there. Panzer Pioneer in the center, bike moving up to assist, or perhaps more likely just seek an approach where there's less British infantry firing at it. Light support coming for Ruby, so that's some fast tech, maybe assault grenadiers and machine guns, maybe something else entirely. Might even plan like a fast mechanized, company then, like pushing for fast arcades. Also a big possibility, particularly with armored support he'd chosen. Does typically tend to indicate, some tendency to focus on like, armored cars of some kind. So could of course also be the 250-9 here for Ruby. We'll have to see though. Plenty of possibilities here that the DAK player could dive into, and of course that way threatening here for Oziligath. We got the Panzergrenadiers on the way there for Ruby. 250 half-track withdrawing here. Dingo doing a lot of damage here with this little Bren gun there in front, mounted in the front here. 250 trying to turn as many corners as he can here, trying to stay clear of the Dingo's line of fire, and nearly pulls it off here. Very close call there for Ruby, but a good save. Meanwhile, we got some very uncomfortable neighborship here. Because in the actual war, they would just knock holes into the walls between the buildings and move between them. This was known as rat holing, by the way. Fun fact, there was employed heavily focused on in Stalingrad, but also in Ortona. Fun facts there about urban combat. So, Dingo here. Spike versus Sappers. Panzergrenadiers moving in here with their Panzerbüchse. Good hits here on the Dingo. A fair bit of damage to it. In the southeast, feeling hit, they'll be forced, of course, here. Ruby to immediately counterattack here, Sappers withdrawing. Oziligath, they're quick to respond. I'm not going to risk anything there against those bloody Jerrys. Right there, they're quickly forced to withdraw. And we got the platoon command post there for Oziligath. Ruby, meanwhile, not really indicating what he is planning here or playing at. Like, we're not seeing a mechanized company here. Whatever it's called there. Okay, so he's gone for the combat half-track upgrade using the 250-9 here versus Oziligath. Which is basically that, or it's the Arctards. But we're clearly going to go there for armored cars. We got the Dingo joining in. We got a new third for Ruby, of course, realizing that with Oziligath's increasing numbers of infantry, a machine gun would be a pretty good decision. Down of the Dingo here. Of course, this does risk getting way to Oziligath that the 250-9 is on the way, because normally you otherwise are not going to charge at this thing unless you have a pretty good idea it's going to get knocked out soon enough. And there you go, a few anti-tank rifle hits here, but decides not to push forwards here due to the heavy damage already suffered by the armored car. Very smart move there. Humber on the way for Oziligath. In the south, we got the bite there pushing forwards. The British Army, as a quick side fact, would operate a variety of armoured cars throughout the war. Certainly, I think, one of the armies, alongside the Germans, to operate just the widest variety of armoured cars in general. Of course, in the case of the Germans, that was also in part because they operated captured ones, too. Anyways, we do get the mechanized company. There's likely Arclights here on top of the 250-9.
Have been called forth to lead our mechanized forces.
And there we go, we got veteran gunners. There you go, a lot of damage from the anti-tank rifle section and wielding the boys anti-tank rifle. Panzer Peony charging, got the Humber, we got the Dingo on the move there. Oh, narrowly avoided losing it here. Panzer's moving up, Humber dashing in here. Panzer Peony being met here with heavy autocannon fire out of the Humber. Panzer is creeping ahead here. We got troops moving up in the center as well here with the section pushing in there. Advancing up north. Map control so far remaining pretty good for the British. 2 Panda guns been brought up. Likely in anticipation of more armored cars, be the heavy version of the 250-9. And Oziligath is actually going for more Humbers. Definitely a bit of a surprise to the rest of the DAK. In particular also when he's got Panzergrenadier out already. Oh, looks like Oziligath caught himself there. Cancels it. We also got another Panzergrenadier out here, so that turned out to be a pretty good instinctive reaction there by Oziligath. Otherwise, he would have been absolutely shredded just for all these anti-tank rifles. So that could also be another 250-9, but it also does mean we might like to be looking at Armoured anytime soon. Then again, he'll still go for them. So, a bit more stabilized now in favor of the Germans, but Oziligath remains in a good position. He's going from infantry, still hasn't brought up any anti-tank guns, clearly not feeling the need. Oh, going for the mortar half-track. So obviously also fairly solid. That said, Oziligath doesn't have like a lot of support weapons to like really make it good. Of course, versus infantry and mortar will of course still be very, very good. There you go, Panzer's ambush in the Dingo, getting off some good hits there. Panzer Peony in the center being absolutely mauled here. And there you go, Oziligath slips his attention. Briefly gives way here to an opening for the anti-tank troops there to knock out his Dingo there. Very good work here, section push back. Section pushing forward here, Panzer is in trouble. And there you go, we do get the Arclight in the end here from Ruby. The Sonderkraftfahrzeug 232 section almost been wiped out. A really close call here. And looks like Oziligath has a bit of fortune there, at least calling in the 2-pounder gun. German forces of the 15th Panzergrenadier Company are slow, or Division, not company, are slowly inching against the British lines here. Eroding Oziligath's map control here. And the Arclight, I think, is only going to accelerate this. As Oziligath doesn't have a lot of like great ways, I think, to finish it off fast. Dashing with 259, back, fight, charging past here. No, oh, gets knocked out. Nice work there, but Oziligath really close call there, the Farubi. 2-pounder gun moving in. 250-9 withdrawing. Arclight moving in there. The vast majority of German armoured cars would operate with the 2cm there autocannon. Of course, there was the Puma as one of the major exceptions, but even that didn't last particularly long and was basically get new equipment replaced. Never produced in large numbers, more like that's a better way to put it. Mortar in trouble here, armoured car after they're moving in. Mighty plugging in the Sappers feed here.
We have a battle group awaiting use.
I mean, Ruby could try and push up the BGC, put a bit more pressure on Oziligath. Of course, they're also extending front lines a bit more, so I can understand why Ruby wouldn't want to do that. But at the same time, as the, Deutsches Afrika, you kind of, more rewarded for that anyways, due to, in a sense, being the more mobile faction, at least on paper. Armoured cars, of course, need repairs there, and we got to strengthen the economy, opening up for, well, cheaper and more durable caches there for Oziligath. Got Reiki sections, anti-tank sections. We got a Bren section on the way there.
We're losing grasp of a victory point.
There we go. Timing though, less ideal. Is getting absolutely hammered there by the autocannons of the armoured cars. In the center we got Sappers Hummers moving up. MD Fed for holding up positions. Smoke deploy, they're very nice. It is worth noting, it seems like for some of the windows, the machine gun gets a bit weird, I've experienced. Like, you just can't see anything and shoots. Which is a bit weird. But there you go, Sappers moving, increasing the smoke, get closer with their number 69. grenade and clearing up for Friedrich.
For the munitions
And in the
point.
south here, Oziligath sees the opportunity, moves in this Recce section, trying to unwind here Ruby's southern front.
At once. We shall have additional forces available shortly.
Dispatching the half-track southward, supported by the Panzergrenadier machine gun, also repositioning here. As for Oziligath, nothing further in his base. We got support arm elements, so Ruby's lining to go for the Sturmgeschützstraße from D, smoke deployed towards the cutoff point. In the south here, straight at the Recce section. No grenades there though for Oziligath. Honestly, I think we would have seen grenades researched by now, considering that's typically like one of the reasons you would go for them over the Australians.
Available for construction.
That and cost, obviously. MD-34 there hosing down the sappers. Got more smoke here. Oziligath making pretty nice use of smoke there with his hamper. But obviously so's Ruby with the armored half-track there. So 2 thumbs up here to the players in question. Nicely both sides making tactical use of smoke here to try and, you know, create more effective assaults there. Very nice. Machine there flanked here though from the buildings here. Bren gun there raining down death from above. Section holding up here. We got the 250-9 flanked by the Humber. Up north here, fighting for the fuel point, also breaking loose here. Panzergrenadier pushed off. Ruby's floating a fair bit of resource there, and I definitely think she'll be going for more units. There we go, at least something is happening. It is the emergency repairs there. Of course, makes the light vehicles tougher and can, of course, allow them self-repair. Obviously applies to tanks as well. But right now, not like Ruby has any tanks.
The point is being taken from us.
Meanwhile, Oziligath is pushing for the company command post and likely tanks of his own, maybe some foot guards. Could withdraw the Humber then, unless he wants to retain his utility. Which, I mean, who can fault him for that? That would be a pretty good thing there. Flam Panzers here for Ruby, though I think at this stage a flamethrower tank is going to be a bit too little too late. Nice shooting there, almost took out the entire section.
Our victory point is being neutralized.
Panzergrenadier machine guns, Armoured on the move here. Ruby, meanwhile, continues to float a conspicuously large amount of resources. Though Oziligath is at this stage also floating a fair bit.
Enemy forces have captured the
Ruby
victory
does
point.
have to go for the flamethrower tank there. Bit odd, especially considering, like, you know, the Stug D is also an option here, and the Stug D argues a bit cheaper. And certainly, this lane to the game, I feel like might have a bit more utility than the flamethrower tank, as it can, you know, stay a bit of a safer distance, whereas the flamethrower Panzer III there does need to get closer. Matilda 2, they're slowly ramming here for Oziligath. Arctra dashing after the sappers, almost got them here. Of course, where's the Matilda? Ruby is going to be very poorly situated because he's only got a bunch of anti-tank rods trying to stop it for the time being. But there you go. Ambushes the Humber. And Oziligath there absolutely ruined. Nice over there by Ruby. Arctra being forced back. We got the Flam Panzer moving in. Panzer Puny charging out grenades being chucked here. Flam Panzer rushing in there with its flamethrower. But there you go, Matilda on the scene here. Mortar half-track also moving up. I'm guessing that has got to be a misclick there by Ruby. Or just some funky unit selection. As I've noticed, at times the unit selection can be a bit inconsistent still. I might accidentally grab units you never intended to grab.
Our capture point is being neutralized by the enemy.
That can definitely get a bit frustrating. Need to pull back the flamethrower tank. We got Marders there for Ruby. The Marder 3, early model. Matilda keeps rolling forwards here. And in the south again, they're hitting the fuel pump. We got the Flam Panzer moving in. Engaging there and burning through them. Fun fact, the flamethrower used on the Flam Panzer III would also be used on the flamethrower half-tracks. There's a bit of a fun crossover. Another, I think, very fun fact is the first flamethrower tanks in the German army were actually improvised ones, where they take one of the machine guns on the Panzer I, which are 2 machine guns, and then replace that with a little handheld flamethrower like used by infantry. There you go. Grand section here, dashing in, but also getting dashed into the next round there. Almost getting wiped there. Really close call there, though. And a fair bit of luck for Oziligath, if anything. In the south there, southern front, they're broken over by the Matilda again. the lack of anti-tank assets for a while here for Ruby proved to be quite crucial. But there's the Marder 3 of trying to figure out where the devil that thing has got off to, and there we are. South side here, Sappers busy grabbing points up, mortar fire raining in, Flampanzer moving up. Marder, of course, remaining reserved. We got a Crusader tank there for Oziligath, deciding to bring in something a bit faster than the Matilda. Meanwhile, up north, Arctic with Panzer Pioneer support, trying to force the British off their fuel there on Mount Bacon. We got 354s fallen 20. Crusader tank there, halfway done.
Enemy forces have claimed our sector.
Anti-tank troops moving up. Probing around. In the south, we got the half-tanks moving in. Backed up the flamethrower tank, the Panzergrenadiers. Get the reconnaissance force in there. Go Marder 3 flanking here. Very good setup there. Though it seemingly didn't do too much for the first shot. There we go. Now that makes an impact. Giving the Matilda 2 crew a bit of a scare there. Panzergrenadiers doing with the counter further, like make things easy for the Marder. The Marder is also pretty close here for the Matilda tech to hit it. Crusaders rushing in, hoping to assist here. Smoke all over the place. They're creating a thick fog, so the Marder can't easily, see through. And there you go, 2 Pentagon firing in there. Really should be careful moving in the Marder first, as again, this is only like really heavy anti-tank weapon besides the anti-tank rifle. So one mistake here could cost the Marder him very vulnerable here to Oziligath. But there you go, does get the Matilda, losing the 250-9 in the process. Still, a Matilda for a 250-9 is honestly a really good trade there for Ruby. Pretty terrible for Oziligath. Panzergrenadier is in trouble, machine gun in trouble. Still getting rid of the Matilda is a big relief here for Ruby's infantry. It's only a bit of a problem there for Oziligath. Then we got 354s to 4 and 6. Got an assault grenadier call in. Ruby deciding to get a bit more aggressive. And we got a Panzer commando there out of Ruby. The vehicles they need repairs. North, the assault goes going for the Bren section there, charging in for Deutschland. And Oziligath, of course, just retreats. He knows there's no way of winning this engagement, since if they pop out, actually, they're going to get a brief bonus. And on the way, the assault grenadiers are just going to be able to do more damage than the, Bren section can ever hope to do there.
Shift fire on enemy troopers.
What will Oziligath do next, though, is the big question. He lost his Matilda. Map control is still looking reasonable for him, but there's definitely more problems arriving. We also got a reasonable use of smoke here, I think, by Ruby there, so of course thumbs up to that. Attacking for both sides here against Mount Bacon. Southern flank those getting spotted here by Ruby, quickly putting that to the torch. Charging in the Marder. Bit risky there with the anti-tank section. Of course, we also got a 2-pounder gun here. Up north, fighting for the hill continues. Assault is closing in, having seized the northern victory point in the south here. Ruby remembers that actually exists and get some forces going. Another Matilda 2 here for Oziligath. At this point, it might actually be better to consider investing into the Grant. I mean, obviously the Grant is just amazing, but certainly with the current state of affairs, the Grants may overall just, have more utility for them. B-Mark, Panther Feast, low ramming here for Ruby. Pushing forward to the Flampanzer, the Marder, engaging the Crusader tank, taking a lot of damage to the flamethrower tank. The Marder, though, also taking a bit here. Continue the push forwards, though. Ruby is undaunted, fearless in the face of British resistance. Flamethrower tank unleashing a draconic burst of fire there. Going to get hit by the Matilda and arriving, and of course we've got the Crusader on the flank. Panther Feast ready. And Marder to the rescue. Smoke deployed here, very good. Fully falling back here, and we got more 2-pounder gun fire. Bit surprised that Oziligath hasn't considered, either more 2-pounder guns, at least a 6-pounder gun to help deal the, the German armor build-up. Panther 3, they're around the flank. We got the 2-pounder gun nearby, you know, threatening to do damage to the Panther 3 without really doing any. Third bounce in a row, that is pretty good light there for Oziligath. Lines being spotted. Oziligath definitely seems to be struggling a bit here to like find a way to push through Ruby. And Ruby is, you know, fairly confident, just slowly pushing out of Oziligath here. Got 2 victory points. And of course, has fairly good map control. So Ruby is more than happy with just, you know, taking a more steady approach. We got double mortar attacks here for Ruby, providing him with a fair bit of light artillery support, whereas Oziligath really has to rely on his, you know, so far 25-pounder gun in his base. That's all he has. It's that single gun. For now, at least, we'll have to see, of course, it goes for more. We do at least have a 6-pounder gun out here to supplement the 2-pounder gun, which is basically all his armor's equipped with, as well as the Crusader here, early model, and the Matilda are both equipped with 2-pounder guns as well. Ruby bringing up more Panzer 3s here. Artillery launcher and the machine gun nest. Panzergrenadiers are clipping out with the Crusader tank here and his 2-pounder gun. Up north here, Brent section charging at the flame for a half there, or flame for a tank. Going to be a bit of an obstacle. Matilda's moving in, supported by the 2-pounder gun here. Assault is taking heavy damage. Marder, though, getting some hits in there, but not enough to like rapidly push it back here. Crusader up the center here. We can see now that Ruby's front line is getting pressured more aggressively. Oziligath is attacking from more points. And we can see that Ruby is having a slightly harder time fully managing this, but he of course has 2 Panther 3s now versus Oziligath's 1 Crusader. So the 6-pounder gun proves to be very helpful here. South side, it's also being slowly, you know, undone there by Oziligath and the British 53rd Infantry Division. Marder there being fixed up, the early model, which mounted a converted soda anti-tank on what the Germans call the Pak 36R. They're on the Panzer 38G chassis. Fun fact. Flamethrower tanks moving in, Armoured and Panther 3s all being holded here. 279 versus 369. Machine guns reinforced. Another Matilda here for Oziligath. No grants. Instead, more and more Matildas. An intriguing choice in the current metagame, as people definitely favor Crusaders or grants much more than Matildas now. I mean, it's not like Matildas are bad. I mean, they absolutely eat up infantry and can bounce a lot of shots, but at the same time, they are slow and they do lack a heavier guns, like really fit, like, you know, larger numbers of German tanks. So it's a bit interesting to see here, like Oziligath committing fairly heavy to, like, you know, larger number of Matilda 2s. Second Matilda right about done. We got British infantry moving across the beaches. Up north here, we got the Crusader going aggressive. We got the Panther 3 and we got the Arctide here further boosting. It's actually a flamethrower tank. I'm guessing he might have just been hoping that Oziligath wasn't paying attention to like further increase chances here. But we got the Matilda flanking in, doing a bit of damage. In the south here, Panther 3 counter-attacking, other one under serve there as well. In the center, bit of skirmishing. A lot of fighting here across several points now. And Oziligath is not really doing great in either of these so far. He's kind of, in fact, losing at every engagement, which certainly undercuts the idea then of like fighting this many engagements if you can't even like win one of them. So that was pretty good there for Ruby, if anything. Oziligath basically diluted his offensive firepower, which in theory can work if, like, you know, your opponent's diluted their defensive firepower. You can use like attacking points, but like really hurts, and just Oziligath just didn't really manage any of those. Armed reserves for Ruby, so it might be a Tiger tank, could be Stugs, could be the Panther 4, never the Panzer 3 call in. That one is still just pointless. I still think they should replace that with the Panther 3M, which is, you know, in the game. Bit of quality otherwise. Fixing up that Crusader. Quite dinged up in the south here. Oziligath looks to be making a move here. And we finally got M3 grants to be unlocked.
Attention! We have Tiger heavy tanks available to us.
Got the Stuka anti-tank loaded there for Ruby. That could definitely become a problem there for Oziligath's armor. And would certainly necessitate some anti-aircraft guns, though, of course, lacking the build with both forces can have to rely on Potent trucks. Of course, whether or not he's going to think that it's worth the investment is another matter. I think his answer is going to be no. Crusaders heading out in the south here. Matilda's hanging about. Not pushing further forwards, probably because he's concerned if he dives too far ahead. Of course, his cut-off point's going to be more exposed. And like theoretically, Ruby could then like attack here and then attack from the front as well. They're catching Oziligath's armor in a bit of a pincer. Bit of sniping there on one of the Panther 3s, going for the victory point, the fuel point. So Oziligath once more starting to get a bit more spread out here. Can Ruby actually exploit this? Because Ruby is certainly playing a bit more defensively at the time being. It becomes harder for Ruby to actually exploit these kind of things there. But here we go. Panther 3's moving forwards. Infantry being brought up. Armoured cars. Flamethrower tanks. He's deploying smoke here to cover against anti-tank guns. Thumbs up here. Mines being spotted. Panther 3's dashing forwards. Engaging the Matilda there. Shot slamming through the side armor there. Some of them anyways. The others are just bouncing off there. More bounces. Marder moving up. Engaging the Matildas from a safe distance. I do feel like Ruby could have a bit more momentum going with this. Like, was I think a bit too quick to just slow down, allowing his Oziligath to stabilize much more easily than the thing should have had a chance at. Panzergrenadier is about to get wiped out. Oh, this could be a wipe. Yeah, that's one wipe. Good wipe there. Ruby definitely should have been a bit more cautious there with this Panzergrenadier. Meanwhile now, Oziligath here, having gotten that wipe, senses the opportunity, pushes forwards, but there we go. Perhaps this was a trap all along. All the way, Ruby calls in the loiter, catching Oziligath's force in a bad spot there. Troops being mauled here from above as the Sturzkampf bumper comes flying in there with their guns. Matilda's withdrawing, one heavily damaged. Do get the grants on the way there. One Matilda down here.
Commandant, we have command points available.
A stinging blow there to Oziligath. Flamethrower tangling heady, catching the tank. It's really good push here by Ruby. Oziligath is caught in a horrific spot here. Situation is deteriorating rapidly for the British now. Forces isolated here, easy targets for the German armoured cars and panzers. Crusader on the move. Grant finally good to go again here for Oziligath. Well, finally good to go in the first place, not again. That was definitely me speaking. Panzer Pioneer moving up. Yeah, really bad spot here for Oziligath. Loiter did some intense damage to him. And of course, Ruby is more than happy to exploit this. But there you go. German arm being caught here by British anti-tank. It's more crucial to the Grant here. 2-pounder gun though. Close being around here. We got the Marder though flanking the Grant. 2-pounder gun wiped out. Matilda's on the move. Crusader there flanking the Marder here. And there Ruby now extended is targeted by an aggressive Oziligath. Unleashing pent-up anger at all of this. Knocking out the Marder. Mortar is also, possible target here. Panzer Pioneer close being wiped out. Really good counterattack here by Oziligath. Turns the situation around. He almost got the Panzer Pioneer up. Didn't get the mortar attacks or the Panzer Pioneers though. That is a bit unfortunate here for Oziligath, though very fortunate for Ruby. And Ruby has called in the Stugs here, but nearby Stugabteilung, or Stug Batterie. And there you go, Stugs on the move, 2 thumbs up. Crusader engaged. Panther 3 diving at the Stug. Stug's pushing back the Crusader tank there. Grant arriving to assist here. 194 versus 326. Smoke deployed. And there you go. Stug's going for that Marder, getting some shots in the name of Deutschland. But Oziligath there definitely senses the opportunities now, expanding more aggressively, more actively. Partly because he also has to. Note that a Panzergrenadier Division would actually have its own Panther battalion equipped with Stugs. Typically, the Stug 4 would have been used for this purpose. Little fun fact there. In fact, Stugs were quite heavily used as replacement for tanks. If the German division couldn't get tanks, it typically received Stugs instead. There we go, Crusading gaining the Arclad, Stugs moving up, noting no pinlock machine guns here. No repair there, definitely saving the Crusaders some nasty damage.
We're losing ground for the victory point.
Going for the southeastern victory point, we got 188 versus 316. Stugs hanging back in reserve here, armoured car ready to provide some guidance there.
Under enemy control.
Foot guards for Oziligath. Some staffs withdrawing other. Filling up for a counterattack here towards that southeastern victory point here. Ruby's had enough.
Our fuel point is being neutralized by the enemy.
The Grant they're hanging about. Stugs are going to be sent in against that. Northern point seized. Foot guards almost done. There we go. Entering here for punching through the Stugs frontal armour. Grant moving forwards. And we got more smoke off here. Panzergrenadier assault guns moving up. We got more traffic with the Stugs hanging back. We got creeping barrage here for Oziligath. He's clearly not concerned about like getting a heavier armor there out of Ruby at this point. And up north here, fresh attack going in. Crusader supporting the infantry push here. Foot guard from reserve. Got Panther Fleece being moved in to assist here. Just going to leave the Crusader a bit in a tough spot. As the machine gun can effectively keep the infantry from supporting the Crusader tank here. In the south, dueling continues as well, granting a lot of damage. Sap is almost wiped out. 6-pounder gun joining against the Stugs, the Sturmgeschütze. And here the assault seems to have at least cracked the machine gun, and we can also see with the machine gun gone, Ruby is starting to pull back his tanks. Clearly not going to dance around with all of that without some serious support. Another Panzer here for Ruby. Over all that panning around there. Up north here, the Grants. Oh, Panther being engaged for the foot guards. Maybe they're all called Grant though. I don't know. Panther Fleet's Arclad, Stugs from reserve also being sent in. No machine gun for the Stugs still. Anti-tank section in a bit of trouble, and we see Oziligath just not risking it here. Pulling back as fast as possible to avoid any unnecessary casualties. 172 versus 287. You got another 6-pounder gun here for Oziligath. No more 2-pounders for him. Pardon me, mater, no more 2-pounders for me. I'm off to fly an arrow. Anyways, charging with the Grant and the Matilda here going. Oh, and the Grant absolutely gets focused down there. Good prioritization here, of course, by Ruby. Aircraft attacking going in with heavy fire against the British. Duke knocked out. Tragic blow there. We got the British armored force there getting hammered from above. Sappers jump on the tank there. Clearly not keen on trying to repair while under fire. And there you go. Matilda gone. Aircraft shattering it. And the sappers nearby. Anything's lining up here. German armor punching through here. It's a brutal assault here. Foot guards. Anti-tank rifle there firing well as well here. Absolute chaos here. Lack of infantry support though is giving, I think, Oziligath a more effective chance to fight back here against all this. But there we go. Units so bunched up. They're getting murdered by the mortar half-tracks. Way too close to each other. Assault gun is here. Accidentally carrying up the anti-tank gun. Trying to get more shots here at Ruby's armor. Crusader flanking in here. 6-pounder gun crew finally wiped out. Crusader sneaking up here. Shot failed, so there we go. Got the Stug leaving just hands of 3s and for Ruby, and a bit of infantry left to go. Ace Crusader that. 130 to 187. Oziligath is still in the fight, but it's certainly looking fairly stacked against him for the time being. He needs to, start delivering some pretty heavy hits here. He needs to do some serious damage. And he can't like just say hunt down the Panther Thieves because they're already all the way back here. I mean, Ruby very sensibly pulled back all of his tanks to like ensure that, you know, Oziligath couldn't like just sneak up there and knock one out.
Battlefield Rex shall be salvaged for resources.
So, bit of a tough spot to be in for Oziligath. We got recovery halves as well here for Ruby. Thumbs up to that, and Oziligath, of course, doesn't have that because the British aren't fancy recycling. What do you mean, recover the tank? We'll just get a new one from the Americans.
The recovery vehicle is reporting at HQ.
We go recovery vehicle out, of course, helps also just speeding up repairs, which I imagine is one of the priorities right now for Ruby here versus Oziligath. And 3 was 287. Oziligath needs to get those victory points back. We got another grant on the way for him. Thumbs up. More grants, the better.
Enemy has 100 points remaining.
100 points left there for Oziligath. He's got that pressure on him.
We've done what we can.
Got mines being laid down. Clearly hoping to catch some of those German assaults there with a good mine or two. Definitely think a very sensible idea. But they can make it work is of course another matter entirely. Ruby looks like he's going to be going for pretty aggressive flank here. Might even going straight for the base. Oh wait, that is a pretty large armoured column there. M3 Grant has arrived there for Oziligath. South side we got more mines being laid down. We got some sections with a Bren gun acting as sentries. Mining an approach here towards Mount Bacon. And there you go, Recce section definitely gets its Recce done before they get done in. North here we got, or southeast, whatever, we got the Ruby with a few guns covering that victory point. A lot of smoke here out of Ruby. Cheeky, and then he pulls back. Could have just been for like, you know, deception purposes to make it Oziligath keep his eyes on him because he's going to think something's going to happen here, and then of course instead Ruby's going to attack for him, in which case that's pretty devious. There you go, Brand section there spotted, quickly pushed out. Also, a little fun fact about the Bren gun, but it actually did have a 100-round sort of pan magazine intended for anti-aircraft gun use. It's a bit like how the Germans did have a 75-round, you know, round magazine for the machine guns like the MU-34 for anti-aircraft purposes as well. There's a little fun one. Another grant there for Oziligath. Obviously makes sense. Go for a lot of grants. Crash the enemy with a lot of grants. There you go. Another loiter here. Panther Thieves dashing in as well. We could see the grant get knocked out here. Yeah. Not ready for Oziligath. Sappers are hopelessly arriving there. Only to watch the tank block before the very eyes. Foot guards in a bad spot here. We got the Crusader flanking in here. Foot guards forced off. 55 to 187. Seems like Oziligath is in a bit of a death spiral at the moment. Panther Thieves standing after the Ace Crusader. Still no grenades, I think, here out of Oziligath. Matched him, I'm surprised. See, we got the other grant ready, but there you go. GG out of Oziligath. A loss there for the British Empire. Victory for the German Reich. A pretty fierce fight with a lot of Stugs and Panzer IIIs. Good work there by Ruby. Oziligath, I feel like at times was close, but just tactically I think was a bit too conventional, just lacking something at times. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. This is Imperial News, and cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye everyone.